Imagine standing at a gas station on a cold evening, pockets almost empty, your little girl asleep in the back seat, and the only thing left between you and nothing is two crumpled dollars. Now imagine giving even that away to a stranger. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what happened to James Walker, a single dad and veteran who had no idea that one small act of kindness would change his life forever. Before we dive into this incredible true story, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay till the end, because trust me, you'll want to see how $2 turned into a miracle led by 200 roaring engines. James was a Marine veteran, a man who had faced deserts, storms, and silence. But nothing tested him more than what came after: civilian life. After serving honorably, he returned home with scars that couldn't be seen, a daughter named Lily who was his entire world, and a wallet that seemed to shrink every week. His wife had passed away years earlier, leaving him to raise their daughter alone. He worked construction jobs, odd shifts, anything that could put food on the table. But that week, there was nothing left. Rent was due, the truck was running on fumes, and he hadn't eaten properly in days. He'd been saving everything for Lily. That evening, James pulled into a gas station just outside of town. He checked his pockets, found those $2, and sighed. It wasn't enough for gas, but maybe a small snack for Lily when she woke up. As he leaned against his old Ford truck, he heard the deep rumble of a motorcycle approaching. The rider, covered in leather, with a dusty helmet and a face that spoke of miles traveled, parked nearby. He seemed frustrated, checking his pockets, muttering under his breath. James overheard him say, "Damn it, I lost my wallet." Without thinking twice, James walked over. "Hey, brother, you all right?" The biker looked up, embarrassed. "Nah, man. I thought I had enough to get home. Guess I don't." James reached into his jacket, pulled out the last $2 he had, and handed them over. "It ain't much," James said quietly, "but maybe it'll get you where you need to go." The biker hesitated. "You sure?" James smiled. "Yeah. Just pay it forward someday." The biker took the money, nodding slowly. "What's your name, man?" "James. James Walker." "All right, James," he said, shaking his hand firmly. "You've got my word, I'll remember this." James didn't think much of it. He got back in his truck, drove home on fumes, and tucked Lily into bed with a smile he didn't feel. That night, he prayed, a quiet whisper to no one in particular. He just wanted a break, a sign that good things still happen to good people. The next morning, James was woken by the sound of engines, not one, but dozens. Then hundreds. The walls shook. He stepped outside, shielding his eyes from the sun, and froze. Down the road came a wave of bikers, stretching as far as he could see. Rows of motorcycles, all rumbling in unison, chrome glinting like lightning. Neighbors came out, phones out, whispering in shock. Lily ran out in her pajamas, eyes wide. "Daddy, what's happening?" At the front of the line was the same biker from the night before. He parked his bike, took off his helmet, and smiled. "Morning, James." James blinked. "What is all this?" The biker laughed. "You gave me your last $2, man. You didn't know me. Didn't ask for anything. You just helped. I told my brothers what you did. Turns out, the Brotherhood of Steel Wheels doesn't forget kindness." The crowd of bikers cheered. One of them stepped forward with a check. Another carried groceries. A third handed James a set of keys. "We raised a little something for you," the first biker said. "Gas money, food, clothes for your girl. And a new truck. You've earned it." James couldn't speak. His throat locked. He looked around at the faces, men and women in leather jackets, tattooed arms, tough eyes, but every single one of them was smiling. And in that moment, he broke down. Tears fell freely as he hugged Lily close. I don't deserve this," he whispered. The biker placed a hand on his shoulder. "You do, brother. Because real strength isn't in what you've got, it's in what you give, even when you have nothing left." That day, the bikers stayed for hours. They fixed up his old house, filled his pantry, even set up a small scholarship fund for Lily. Local news showed up, and soon, people across the country heard about the $2 miracle. Messages poured in from strangers, veterans, and single parents. Donations came from people who said James's story reminded them that kindness isn't dead. Months later, James stood on a small stage at a veterans fundraiser, sharing what happened. "I thought I was giving away my last $2, he said, voice steady but emotional. "Turns out, I was giving away fear and making room for faith." The audience stood and clapped, but James didn't care about applause. He looked down at Lily, now smiling proudly in the front row, and that was enough. He knew his wife would be proud too. So if you're watching this right now, wondering if your small act of kindness matters, remember James Walker. Remember those $2. You never know when a simple gesture can start an engine that moves the world. If this story touched your heart, hit like, share it with someone who needs a little faith today, and subscribe for more real stories that prove good still lives among us. Because sometimes, the smallest spark can ignite 200 roaring hearts.